Hey, what's going on guys? It's me Aiden, welcome back to another video. Now today is very exciting because I got a new package. Now if you've been keeping up with the Miraculous Ladybug news over the past year, then you will know that Jeremy has been sneak peeking, not really sneak peeking, but he's been sort of hinting at like, ooh, a new manga, and then eventually we got it, and then we heard that it was out. And you may be wondering, well, what did you get? Well, you're probably not wondering because it's in the title. I bought the manga. I bought the Miraculous Ladybug Manga, so that way you didn't have to. And if you want it, I'll talk about all of that at the end of this video. There should be time codes, so you can go check that out. So you may be asking yourself, what the heck is a manga? What does it have to do with Miraculous? What is this? Why does this relate to Miraculous at all? And to answer your question, a manga is a Japanese comic book, essentially. So they made a Japan exclusive comic book for Miraculous Ladybug. They basically made a comic book for Miraculous Ladybug. It's just that simple. So there you have it. If you were wondering, like, what even is a manga? There you go. It's essentially just a comic book. Now, as far as the content, you may be wondering, like, all right, what is the beef of this? Like, what is the juiciness that comes out of this, like, when you hold it, right? And gotta be honest, it's a little underwhelming. It's essentially just the Stormy Weather episode. Now, Stormy Weather was one of my favorite episodes in Season 1, actually, and that's because it was just the highest quality episode, right? Like SAMG put a lot of effort when they were animating that, and it just looks so good. Like, the colors and everything, it's just like, I would say it's probably the best looking episode in the entirety of Miraculous Ladybug. Like, even the special, like it's that good. So I did enjoy seeing Stormy Weather because, like I said, it hit different than the other episodes, so it resonates with me a little bit more, and so I really enjoy seeing it in this comic book or manga. Now, I know I said that there wasn't any like core differences. There may have just been like a few little dialogue differences and whatnot, because, you know, that's bound to happen. But essentially, it's essentially just the Stormy Weather 2 episode. There's no like major differences. Now, one of my favorite things about reading this was actually the expressions. The expressions in here are the best. There are some really good expressions. There will be some on screen. These are expressions that you cannot get in a 3D CGI animated type show, so just seeing these and seeing the Ladybug and the Cat Noir and everyone's expressions, it's so funny and it makes it all worth it for me. Now, sort of staying on that topic, Hawkmoth looks so creepy. Like, he actually looks evil. Like, in the show, he looks like a kid's TV show villain, right? But in the manga, he actually looks like a threat. Like he looks evil, man. It's scary. And also, there are some expressions that Stormy Weather makes, and she looks evil too. Like, she terrifies me with those expressions. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's something about the style. Like, I love like the anime-esque style, and so it's just, I don't know. It hits different for me. So there's nothing really new about this manga, and there's nothing really like special about it aside from the fact that it's a manga, and, you know, the expressions and the character design is going to be a little bit different from what we actually see in the show. So for the average fan out there of Miraculous who's just like, that sort of looks interesting, I probably wouldn't recommend it because it's just, it's too much work to get it, and I'll go through that here in a second. Now, you may remember that I said that this was 61 pages, but when you looked at this book, you may have thought, that looks like a lot more than 61 pages, and you are right, because this is actually a part of the Serious magazine. And this is actually the March edition, even though it's February. By the way, the second chapter comes out in a couple days on February 26th. So I will maybe be getting the second chapter. Let me know if you'd like to see a second part to this video. But yeah, so if you were to buy this thing, then you're going to be buying a bunch of other manga as well. And they're just miscellaneous chapters. And if you don't read it, I'm just saying, it's definitely a big purchase to make. Now, one option to consider is to maybe wait until maybe they make like a Miraculous exclusive book, because, like, you know, big shows or big series, I should say. So My Hero, for example, they have My Hero only mangas, and basically it's a book, not nearly as thick as this, and not nearly as big either. This is pretty big, but they just have books or chapters. Not the chapters in the sense that you think, but yeah, they'll just have the individual volumes, maybe is a better word. And so I don't know how many they have, maybe like 25 or so volumes. That's only My Hero. So if you're to buy that, you're only buying it for My Hero. This, you're buying it for Miraculous, but you also get a lot of other content that nobody else, that, you know, I'm not gonna probably read this stuff, So like, you know, I just have this. I bought it for Miraculous, but now I also have a bunch of other stuff, and obviously since this is a thick book, it takes up a lot of space, right? So you might not want to get that, and you might want to wait. I don't know if they're going to make a Miraculous only like book or manga, but you might want to wait for that if they do. Now, where did I buy this? I bought this on eBay. Now, there is a listing on Amazon for it, but I couldn't get it on Amazon, so I don't know. I'll leave the link to the Amazon down in the description below. The eBay seller that I bought mine from is not currently selling it anymore, so you'll just have to search online. Remember, this is the March 2021 edition. It's the 3rd volume of the year. Again, I don't know why it, like, this was released in January, so I don't know why it's the March edition. I don't know how all that works. But if you want to find it, I'm sure you could probably find it online on eBay or some other places. But yeah, I will leave the Amazon link down in the description below if you can figure out how that works. I don't know. Now, with all that being said, and you do decide to pick this up, please note, this is all in Japanese. So if you can understand and read Japanese, that's fantastic for you. If you can't, well, good luck. Now, I will say there is furigana, so if you know katakana and hiragana, then you should be able to at least read the characters, and there is a lot of katakana, so it is good practice for reading katakana. If you have no idea what that means, then don't worry about it. But what you could do is you could take the Google Translate app. They have a little like photo like scan icon button thing, and what you could do is just take a photo of the page and then it'll translate it for you. So you can do that. Or of course, if you're a little bit more advanced, then you could actually type in, like, you could go to gshow.org and then type in like an individual word, find out the word. Good practice. So that is an option for those of you guys who are interested. And do keep in mind, since this is a manga you read from right to left, don't know if this is coming out the right way, but this side is the right side for me, so I would read it from this way to this way. So that is a cool little quirk, I guess. I don't know. So you'll have to get used to that if you're used to reading more, I don't want to say American, but I'm going to say American comics, like, just because I'm American. So that's the word that comes to mind when I hear comics, American comics. So yeah. So would I recommend the Miraculous manga? Well, it really depends on your situation, and here's why. If you're just an average fan, I probably would not recommend it, okay? This cost me like 30 bucks plus another like 10 in shipping, because again, I had to buy it on eBay and it comes straight from Japan. So obviously shipping and pricing is going to be a lot more expensive if you're importing it from somewhere else across the world. So it's a lot more expensive for me to make this investment, I will say. So average fans, I don't think you can get the enjoyment out of this for the price, because who knows how expensive it will be. And I think the eBay listing that I saw on there most recently, it was even more expensive than the $30 plus $10 shipping. It was like $40 plus $20 shipping, so that's like 60 bucks. So it's definitely pricey, especially given the fact that this is in Japanese, and I would assume most of you do not speak Japanese. You're not going to be able to read it without work. So again, it's definitely more hard to get enjoyment out of it, because to some of you it may feel like work. Now, that being said, if you are a die-hard fan of Miraculous and you just want everything Miraculous, and you just want it to have it and say like, hey, I've got the manga, and you can just put it on your shelf, go for it. Again, if you want that, if you're that kind of person, you might want to wait to see if they make the actual like Miraculous individual books. Although if they don't, it's going to be harder and harder to get one of these. So it's sort of a gamble there. The other use case I would recommend this for is if you're learning Japanese. This is a fun way to practice. Like I said, it has a lot of katakana, and that one you'll get rusty with that real quick if you don't keep practicing. So it's definitely good in that regard. And you know, there's also other comics. So if you're interested in these other series, you could go check them out. You could read through them. Even if you don't want to translate it, you could just read it, get practice at least just reading it, maybe identifying some kanji, stuff like that. So, you know, there's a few different use cases for this, but I think for the average viewer, you don't need to pick this up. You could just let people like me pick it up and then tell you about it, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to be picking up the second edition, because like I said, this gets pricey, and I don't think this video is going to get as many views as a normal like news video would, for example. So I don't actually think I'll make my money back on this, but we'll see. If it does well, then I will definitely consider picking up the second edition. If you want to see it, let me know down in the description below. Leave a like, all that jazz. So yeah, we'll see. If you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like and subscribe like I just said. But yeah, I will talk to you in the next video, whatever that may be. If you have any questions about the manga, let me know down in the comments. Maybe I'll answer it, maybe I won't. Depends on if there's any comments or not. Maybe there won't be any comments and it'll just be an empty... I don't think that I've ever had an empty comments box on this channel. Maybe that should be a goal. Maybe we should make that a goal. Anyway, enough rambling from me. I'll talk to you later. Have a nice day and goodbye.
You